we have 100 between the two offices, and we have less than 50 people that said that they want more for their life. Why? Why is there less? Why is there only a third of the people out of the 170 people that want more for themselves, that want more out of their life, that want more out of their business, that want more out of their relationships, that want more out of their body? Why? Why is that? Is it because we're scared? Are you afraid? Are you afraid to face what you have, what's possible in your life? Are you afraid to face everything that's waiting out there for you? Are you afraid to show up and see what that is? Because if that's the case, sit down with me and I will slap the fear out of you. Not physically. Not physically, I'll keep my hands to myself, but we'll get it out of you. That's the whole point of doing something like this. Showing up, getting around like-minded people who all want more for themselves. That's what this whole weekend was. And if you get around the people that I was just around for the last 5 days, every single one of them came back with a different intention, a different purpose, a different meaning. I talked with one of them yesterday who, do you mind if I share about? So the last 2 years, we've been discussing and talking, and this person left something better. Something better was right here. Found it. And she showed up and she said, I'm going to make a difference. I'm the one that's going to make the difference. Nothing out there. It's not a brokerage. It's not a buyer. It's not a seller. It's me. I'm the one that's going to show up. And when I show up, there's nothing that's going to stand in my way, because nothing will ever be in my way. It's just going to be a speed bump. Sometimes it's a hurdle. I got to step a little higher, but I'm getting over it. That's what I want to bring to you tomorrow. I want to bring a different level of energy, a different level of intention, a different level of passion to what you're doing now in business, in life, in your relationship. We want to make some change. Because I know that if you can do something more in your life, you can do something more in your business. There's a guy named John Apple. He was a bad word. He was a regional owner, franchisee guy for Remax. And nobody, bad word in case y'all missed it. So he was a regional guy for them. And no one else successful I think it was Indiana or Illinois. I think it was Indiana. No one else had been successful there. No one else had been able to be successful in that state. No one was able to build it. And everybody told him he was crazy when he bought the franchising rights and was business. He bought and opened up and bought other businesses, brought other brokerages. Took him 4 years to get other people involved and interested. And they got interested, and then he had a group of people. And what he said is, you all know how to do your job. You know how to do your job. But what's the difference? The difference is going to be getting you to focus on yourself every day and being better every day. They did real estate training, but they did not focus on anything real estate related for a whole 6 months here. They focused on real estate to make sure that the business was going to be done correctly. But he focused on coaching these agents. He had them show up. He had them set goals, which we're going to do tomorrow. He had them setting goals outside of their business, looking at their success. He had them visualizing those goals. And then he had them do something that nobody really does anymore. Nobody really ever wants to do. We have to visualize the outcome, but then we have to visualize everything that's going to stand in our way, and visualize yourself stepping over it, and visualize yourself running through it, and visualize yourself overcoming it, and visualize yourself doing that. You can see the vision but you're going to run right into something that's going to stop you until you start visualizing yourself overcoming those things and getting over those things. So we had a group of people. It was about 100 agents that all committed to doing it every day for 6 months. Every single person in there, the average person quadrupled their business by following principles, by setting these goals, by showing up every morning, following simple steps every single morning, priming themselves, priming their brain, priming their mind, priming their emotions, priming their business, priming their actions, visualizing goals, visualizing themselves overcoming each of those goals. Because what do you typically do when something hits you, when a roadblock hits you? You stop. What does your car do if you run into something? What do you do? It stops. You stop, and then you sit there, and what do you fall back on? Old habits, what you already know, the things that are comfortable for you. And what's comfortable for most of us? I find myself doing this even still sometimes. It's just a habit. I literally have smacked myself a few times because I'll grab the phone and naturally just go to hit like button in a moment where you just feel like, oh, just what else is going on? No, put that shit down. You fall back, you stop, you do those things naturally until you actually acknowledge that those are challenges and those are roadblocks, and you visualizing yourself getting over those things, you're not going to have as good of an experience. You can visualize all you want, but when you run into that roadblock that stops you, that puts you right back into your comfort zone, you have to be able to oversee yourself stepping over those things. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about those things tomorrow on Wednesday. Today, we're just going to cover a few other things. We're going to talk about some follow-up. Share. We're going to talk about some follow-up things, and we are going to talk about just a couple other things going on around us. So number one, you all got an email yesterday from Susie. It was later in the day. We're going to do a Thanksgiving potluck on Friday. So for those of you who haven't heard or have told you about, we do a happy hour over here. There's a happy hour gathering here in the office in Apollo Beach between 3 and 5, typically on Fridays. If you just wanted to come in, we sit down. What do we talk about? We talk about what we're grateful for. We talk about some exciting moments of the week. We praise each other. We tell us how awesome and how amazing we all are. Yeah, it's one of those little fun times like that. Some people have drinks, some people don't. This Friday, we're doing a Thanksgiving potluck from 2 to 5. So bring a side dish. Go online. The email has a link. It goes to a Google Sheet. Put your name and what you're going to bring. It's going to do it here in the training room, so we have a larger space, a larger room. We've ordered a ham turkey from Honey Baked Ham, so we'll have something here. Bring a side dish. Once we get to a certain amount of things on there, we don't need to bring a lot more because we don't really have a whole lot to do with the leftovers, unless you all know of some place that we can do that with. If you all know some place that we can bring them to, somebody that can benefit from having a hot meal that day, that evening, that night, if there's a church, if there's a ministry, if there's something that can do it in that moment, that's really the only other thing we can do, but we'll try and monitor so we don't bring too much. There's a blood drive this Friday as well in the morning from 9 to 3. That'll be here in the parking lot. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who brought in canned goods this past week. We had a great turnout for just the agents that brought stuff in, filled the back of the bed of my truck up to the tonneau cover, and also the back seat as well with canned goods, rice, beans, filled it up. They were very grateful. The principal came out and spoke with us, and she was very grateful to have that. And when you walk into their food pantry and you see empty shelves, yeah, that's a punch in the gut. And then she tells us that these kids, like I told you before, but hearing it directly from the principal over the phone and seeing the concern in her eyes that these kids, the meal that they get sometimes is the one at school. And when they go home on the weekend, they get a bag of food to take home with them. And then you keep looking to the right and you're seeing large empty spots on these shelves. And then you see some of the food that they have to bring home with them, and that's all that they get. It makes you want to cry. My goodness, there's people that are suffering. If you can't take it in your heart to find a minute to stop and pay $10, $20 to bring in some canned food, some rice, some beans, something, and drop it off here to be able to do that, then I don't know what else I could do for you, but I know what I can do. And I'm going to show up every single day to make sure that I do my part. So on December 13th, that's our deadline. We're doing it again for the holidays, for Christmas, because that's a longer period of time. There's no way those shelves would feed the amount of kids that needed in that for 2 weeks. No way in hell. So please, anytime between now and December 13th, that Monday morning, it's a Monday morning. We're going to load everything up between 8:30 and 9, and we're going to drive it over there. Anytime between now and December 13th, bring it in. I'll email out the list again of things that they're looking for: rice, beans, canned vegetables, canned meats. I'll send it out again so you can see it. I have it over. I have it right here, just if you wanted to take a look at it. I'll send it out again, but this is it. So please bring it in. We'll have a room, we'll have a place for it. But I know how blessed I am to be able to go home every single night and to be able to stop anywhere that I want and eat anytime that I want, anything that I want at any given time. And there's kids who don't have the wherewithal to understand why they're hungry and why they can't get something in that moment or why their parents can't. And then there's a parent who doesn't know what they could do or how much better, how can I provide, how much more can I do? Not a place that I would ever want to be in, or I'd ever want to. I have to put myself in a moment to associate to it, so I know exactly what I need to do. So I would challenge you all to do the same. Please show up, bring it in anytime between now and then. If you don't want to buy something, bring in some funds, give it to Rosa or Joy. We will keep it in we're keeping it in an envelope in a locked room in a safe. Joy then goes and orders stuff. She takes money orders a whole bunch of it from Aldi because we can get the most bang for the buck there, and we bring it over here and then we go and drop it off. So please do that. We really, really need to help. Yes, ma'am. We are. Yeah, we are. We're going to put together. A flyer for these next two things. So the holiday food drive for Ruskin Elementary, and then the Toys bike drive. We're finalizing to see about the car show type event where we're going to put cars in the parking lot, like classic cars, things like that. And they have to bring a toy if they want to bring their car. You have to bring in a brand new unwrapped toy if you want to be able to come and look at the cars. We're trying to coordinate to get like a food truck or a coffee truck or something like that, or just some breakfast type stuff. That's going to be on December 4th. And the only reason we're doing it December 4th is because that's the day Toys for Tots collects. So anytime between now and then, I'm not going to go on the same rant about Christmas as I did about food. You all understand the importance of this. There's kids out there who will not have any opportunity for Christmas. And again, just do me a favor. When you go home tonight, yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care. When you go home, grab your children, pick them up and look them in the eyes and picture the look on their face if they did not get anything for Christmas and they had to go back to school and they had to hear about everything that everybody else got because Santa didn't stop at their house. Nothing to do with that. It's just the parents' inability to be able to provide something like that. You are the difference that makes the difference. So please show up. We'd love to raise as many bikes as we can. Because how is that for a little kid? They've got tons of little toys like they can play with at daycare and all different, wherever they go. There's tons of little things. But to know that this child can have their own bike would be absolutely amazing. So I'm asking all of you to spend a few dollars and get some canned goods for somebody in need. I've talked about these before. There's some basic human needs. And the two needs of the soul are the need to give and the need to grow. And if you haven't given anything, if you haven't contributed back and haven't done anything like that in a while, this is a great opportunity. So please get some food, get some canned goods, go to Walmart. You can buy a bike for $50. Like you can literally just allocate it out. If you think of it, please also get a helmet because they need helmets too. So get a bike, get a helmet like that for them. I personally am going to, every year get 2. I'm going to double that and give 4 this year. And then we're also going to try and do our best to match what we can for the food drive to try and make that happen. So just let me know if you have any questions. It's really important to be a part of the community, to be able to give back. And then on top of that, the other need of your soul, when you give back, how much does it make you feel like you've grown as an individual? So those are the differences that make a difference. So goal setting workshop for tomorrow. That's going to be 12 to 2. Just bring yourself. I'll have everything else you need. You don't need a computer. You really don't need any of that. You need a pen. And I need you to bring your A game, bring your best self. Come in willing to open up, willing to let go, and just willing to just let everything out on the table and say, God, I've never allowed myself to want anything, to push for anything. I've never allowed myself to really connect with those things that mean the most to me. So let's take an opportunity for everybody and let's be the best that we can be. And then we can go into some business stuff, but I just want to see, does anybody have anything that they wanted to add from there? Anything you wanted to put in? Any other input? No, good. So let's talk a little bit about business. Yes. So Kim, oh yeah, I didn't finish that thought. We're putting together flyers for the Toys for Tots drive, and we'll put together flyers for a holiday food drive. I want to have them done ASAP. I'd really like to have them done by the end of the day today or tomorrow, so that we can send them out. I'd like to have 2 separate ones. You can literally staple them together, do a double-sided one. I want you all to get out into the community. I want you. It's not good enough for us to just do it. We have 100. We have 108 agents between the offices. We're touching right now 50 right now. So again, about the same number, 50 out of that. So we're 50 people right now. How much more of a difference could we make if we went out into the community? I don't want you to sell anything. I don't want you to. I don't talk to them about real estate or anything like that. The only real estate related thing that should come out of your mouth is I work for Century 21 Beggins, and we believe that it's our duty to step up in the community to do what we can to ensure the health and stability of our community. That's what I want you to tell them. That's what I want you to say. Drop those off. We're a donation center for Toys for Tots and for a food drive, and we're doing it for Ruskin Elementary. We'll put those together for you so you can get out in the community and do that. So, like I said, hopefully you have those, and then we'll send out an email with the list for the food. And then I almost don't feel right talking about business now. Like that doesn't even feel right. But well, let's talk about who has new listings, new buyer, any buyer wants, anything that you have that a buyer is looking for that you're not finding or you want to keep us apprised of.
Yeah, and online, please unmute, raise your hand if you want to share any buyer wants or new listings, that kind of stuff.
Well, this was kind of difficult. I've got a buyer, and she's FHA approved, but she's a bus driver, so school bus driver. So we need something below 230 that's decent living style. So if anybody's got a listing coming up, because I say 230, she's approved for hire, but we all know what happens. They go highest and best, we lose out. So if anybody's got anything that's on that rank, that's at a nice, clean, livable property, please give me a call. This is Kim Perez. Thanks.
Does she have down payment? Does she have down payment funds? So what we can do is if we can get her to Mike to do the down payment assistance, where if her credit, it's a 620 or 640, she can get some down payment assistance, which might help with some appraisal gap coverage that might help too. Okay. Awesome. Good. Henley?
I have a buyer that's looking for a nice property. She's very well qualified. She's conventional, 20% down. She can cover appraisal gaps. She's looking in either like Waterset, Lakaya Lake, like a nice Covington Park or something that's nice. Not too big. It's just her. A 3-bedroom is fine, but doesn't need a lot of work. But she's only willing to go about 415. So it's tough in those neighborhoods finding anything, a triple creek, anything that is, a nice, clean, updated property. She can compete. It's just a matter of finding that one that's low enough to start and be able to go up.
Well, let's talk about that. Does she have a specific neighborhood she wants to be in that she really wants, but she will move into the others?
Waterset and Lakaya Lake is
Okay.
what she's looking for. We put in an offer. We're still waiting to hear on one in Lakaya Lake, but they're trying to push higher than what she's
Talk to me
willing to go.
afterwards. You said 415? Okay. Talk to me afterwards. I know of one property that might match that. I was talking with a guy and he's got a couple rental properties he's consider selling, but he doesn't want to close till next year. So talk to me afterwards. I'll see. If
Okay, she is looking, she's living with family right now and is
Yeah.
looking to close hopefully in 30 days or less. There was one that went up for sale there, but they don't want to close until
Well, he has-
sometime in January.
he's got a tenant moving out of one of them but he doesn't want to close till then. So it might
Okay.
work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's chat.
Thank you. Anybody else, just reach out to me. This is Tenley. Thanks.
We have online buyer wants a waterfront condo, 2,000 square foot or more in Apollo Beach with boat access, under 650 for a 3-2. Waterfront condo, 3-2, under 650. So with boat slip access, can go up to 800 if needed. Okay. Any new listings or anything coming? Jackie?
Okay, I'm a new listing. I know this is bizarre, but it's in Mulberry. Yeah, which is in the middle of nowhere, but these people are buying a house in Ruskin and they need to sell their house. It's 3084 Grand Preserve Boulevard, Mulberry. It's a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a Highland home. It's only a couple years old. Has a huge backyard that's fenced and just clean. They put new flooring in. They put the high-end vinyl in there, and it's got granite in the kitchen. I mean, it's a really decent home in a nice neighborhood. It's called Sundance, which is unusual because Sundance is also in Waimama. But this one is in Mulberry, which is a good hour from here, and we're listed at 345.
345.
It's a little over 2,000 square feet.
So, okay. 2,000 square foot, 345 Mulberry. Kim, what you got?
It's my listing at 11719 Tetrafin, which is in the reserves of Perdera across from Triple Creek. We, nice brand new home, 5-bedroom. It was just built in July. We just reduced the price down to 550. So I wanted to kind of point that out.
Cool. Let's see.
It doesn't show on the MLS as 550 yet, but it will by the end of today.
Was it 11 what?
11719. Tetrafin. Beautiful home. All the warranty, like the builder's warranty and everything will transfer over. Very motivated seller. His wife's already moved, so he wants to go join her in Michigan.
Well, that could be good or bad.
Thank you.
Why'd you laugh so hard? So what are the specs on it? Jimmy, give that back to her, please.
Yeah, sorry.
What are the specs? How big? What's the bedrooms?
It's 5-bedroom. What does it say? 3,300 square feet.
Okay.
It's got, and what's nice is every bedroom has a walk-in closet, and then there's basically 2 masters. There's 1 bedroom on the main floor, which is nice. And then upstairs, there's the main master, and then there's another room that has an ensuite as well. So you could call it 2 masters if you want.
It's a 5
The
bedroom.
backyard is huge also and partially fenced.
I think you're saying it wrong. Jackie said it's huge.
What'd she say?
Huge.
Huge.
Not huge. Huge.
Huge.
Jackie had a huge backyard. That's the Pennsylvania. Yeah. So 3,300 square foot, 5-bedroom home in reserve at Pradera.
Now it's going to be listed at 550 and still negotiable, just saying. So
549.9.
yeah.
Cool.
It's already set. It's already set.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
they got
okay,
it
it's already
addressed,
updated.
so we're good. Okay.
Well, you, my friend.
Anybody else? Any other buyer wants, buyer needs? Good. Let me show. Let's talk about a couple quick. We'll talk about a couple quick stats. Follow up. Without reading the screen, which you already are. How many attempts does it typically take to get a sale? No. How many attempts talking to somebody, calling somebody, communicating with somebody does it take to get to a sale? It's right there on the screen. Even though I don't have to read it. Everyone I know that's what 5 to 12. That's the average is between about 8. So between 5 and 12 attempts to get to a sale whenever you have a new client, customer, or a lead that comes to you. Why? Trust. Why else? Dreaming stage. Yep. Why else? Why else would it take someone to sale? Anybody? Financials. But this is no, this is to get them. When I say sale, the sale meaning you're going to be their agent. Because that's really when the sale happens, right? What is sales? Influence. It takes 5 to 12 contacts to get them to influence them till they're going to trust you to give you that opportunity to average. I mean, these are just typical numbers. So here's a typical sliding scale. 43%, basically half of the people will never make more than one call. More than half the people will not make more than one call. Internet. Well, let's talk about internet leads real quick, or leads that you get for people you don't know. Why don't we follow up with them?
Don't get in
Put it
touch
up.
with them.
Tell me why don't we follow up? Tell me, I don't. Internet leads. Why don't you follow up with them? No response. Forget. They don't seem. It doesn't seem viable. Shitty lead, basically. Wrong phone number. Oh no. If you don't have a number, you can't call them. But why don't we continue to touch base with them? It's just trying to use you. That's a great
We're
great
afraid they're
wonderful
gonna pick
mindset
up.
to have while you're trying to help people. They're just using me.
No,
They're using me for my electronic lockbox key to see the house.
no. We're afraid they're going to pick up.
We're afraid. We're afraid they will answer the phone. How many people here are afraid of failure? Who's afraid of failure? Put your hands down. We're afraid of success. People. You all lie. You all lie. If you're not afraid of success, let me ask, who's successful right now? Okay. The people who didn't raise their hand and said they're not afraid of success. Who's afraid of success? Hands went up. The ones who didn't raise their hand did not raise their hand when I asked who's successful. If you're not afraid of success, why aren't you successful? Then I'm not talking to you. Thank you very much for playing my game. But yes, I know. But think about it. Jimmy said, we're afraid they're going to answer. And if they answer, what do you have to do? I got to talk to them. I got to talk to them. I got to get them to like me, know me, and trust me. What if they find out that I've only sold 4 homes? What if they find out that, what if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to, and then I seem stupid, and then they call, oh, what if they never answer the phone again after that? Oh my God, that would be the simple fact is we're all have a little bit of fear of failure, a little bit of fear of success. But the people, like I said, if you're not afraid of success, if you say you're not afraid of success, why aren't you to the point of your ultimate success? Because if you weren't afraid of it, you would attack it every single day. If you weren't afraid of failing or not reaching it, or even reaching it and being successful, then what the hell? What happens when I get it all? Holy shit. What happens when I have everything that I ever wanted? Oh, where am I going to park my boat? Who's going to mow my lawn? What am I going to do with all the extra money? I don't even know how the hell I'm going to. Who do I call to charter a jet? And then taxes. I'm going to owe. Problems. You say that, but those are a lot of the problems that people. I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to know what he had to do to get the money to do all those things. They don't want to do it. You don't do it. So if you're not afraid of success, ask yourself this one question: why are you not successful yet? And if the answer is because I don't do what I need to do, then we have to find out why you didn't do what you're supposed to do. And that's going to come down to fear. So you're afraid of success. You may be afraid of taking the action, but the ultimate fear, when you start digging down deep into it, is your fear of not being enough, being able to fulfill the need that you need to be to be successful. So if you don't show up on a daily basis, then you need to come tomorrow. And we need to talk about some things, and we need to figure out what we need to do to get you to show up, how we can put some action items in to get you to show up. But follow-up is the game. So when we're talking to people, the reality is these are simple sales stats. 48% of the people never follow up with a prospect, never follow up with them, like never call. How many of you have ever got a lead? Don't lie to me. I know you've done it. How many of you have ever got a lead and just not called it? We all have. I'm raising my hands. I've done it too. We've all done it. She walked in and raised her hand, doesn't even know what she's raising her hand for. She knows she's guilty. We've had those conversations before. So 25% of salespeople never make a second call. Never call a second time. Never call the second time. Right? 12% of salespeople only make 3 and then stop. 12%, that means that 90% of the people that are out there, like 90% of the people, the reason they're failing is because they won't do the couple extra things that are needed, like make a phone call, make a text, call a few more times, 7 or 8 contacts. And that's where your success lies. Only 10% of salespeople have more than 3 contacts. 90% of people are not successful because they won't do the things that they need to do to become successful. They know they have to do them, but they don't do them yet. Why? We just talked a little bit about that really briefly. It's fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of not being, what happens if I am enough? The fear of not being enough to be enough. And our brains are pretty messed up. 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% on the second contact, 5% on the third contact, 10% on the fourth contact. 80% of all sales are made on contacts 5 and more. 80%. So if you're asking yourself, if we pull up your numbers on 21 Online like Craig did, and you look at them and you go, yeah, why isn't it higher? Why haven't you done the things you need to do? Follow up with the people you need to follow up with. And this isn't just for brand new contacts and clients too. This also falls into like past clients and sphere of influence too. You need to touch your sphere of influence or past clients some like 45 times to 50 times a year. 45 to 50 times a year. See, there you go. Man, no, it's not. It is not. It is not. How many, let me ask you a question. How many times did you post on Facebook this year? It couldn't even tell me how many times you posted on Facebook. Do you think that some of your sphere and past clients saw that? Okay, so we knocked half of them out of the way because they saw, I couldn't even tell you how many times I posted on Facebook. It doesn't matter if it's real estate related or not. You need to touch them 45 to 50 times throughout the year. So if I put a Facebook post out, they will see that. Now, let's think smart. You can't just do that because that's not going to get anywhere. So what if you committed to sending 10 texts a day for the quarter to get through all of your sphere, 1 phone call a quarter, 1 text a quarter, or maybe 2 texts a quarter, 1 phone call a quarter for past client sphere and all of that, plus a drip campaign, plus social media, plus a video, or plus whatever. Anytime you get a new listing, share it to them, whether it's email or even on social media. They'll see it. Hey, I noticed you. I know you live right around the corner from there. If you happen to know anybody that you really loves the area, I've got this listing. Please let me. You're not asking them for anything other than, do you have a friend that wants to live close to you? Right? Buyer sales. My buyer just moved in around the corner in this neighborhood. I know you live right around the corner. If you have any stops or shops or anything that you go to or things to do, times of year, times of the week or whatever, let me know. I'd love to give them some ideas. If you have a AC person or somebody down the road who walks dogs or whatever, ask them some questions whenever you sell a property. Shoot it over to them. But 45 to 50 times a year is not a lot. I'm not asking you to call them 45 to 50 times a year. I'm asking you to touch them 45, not like that. Stop, wipe that look off your face. Not 50 times a year, you need to touch them in some way, shape, or form. Follow-up is the name of the game. And if you're not doing it, you're missing out. And with that being said, we will wrap it up. And it's 10 o'clock, so keep your eyes out. We're going to be sending out some emails with there'll be flyers attached. Well, there will be some other information. I'm gonna send an email with the food drive info. We'll send some flyers out so we can get out there. What if we all decided that we are going to all, why don't we make some fun out of it? Why don't we just say, hey, well, 10 or 20 of us go into a water set one day and just, we'll get some shirts on and go out and just hand out flyers. All we're doing is handing them out, knocking on doors. We're not doing anything else. And then like the next day, go somewhere else, next day, go somewhere. So, and we can knock neighborhoods out and areas out like that. So we'll try to coordinate something like that. If you have any questions or if you would like to take on any of those tasks, spearheading a specific neighborhood, let me know. We'll coordinate.
Yeah. So we'll get that. I'll get it out tonight. We'll get it done by tonight. Also send out, we'll make sure that you're able to post pictures and stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. We will be putting stuff on our office page too. So if you have not joined the South Shore Century 21 Beggins Facebook page, do that. Because we will be putting some stuff on there. So if you don't feel like doing it, you could just share it directly from there and start sending it out to your groups and stuff like that. So again, it's Century 21 Beggins Enterprises South Shore. Make sure you jump on that so you can get some of that content too.
And you can share and post to that page as well. So
yeah,
if you have
what, let's talk about that for a second.
Yep.
I would love, like, what we're doing right now is we're getting a lot of people involved, and yes, we get a lot of people that are checking in and putting some good stuff in there, but a lot of recognition for agents just to show how awesome you all are, with our clients and things like that. Throw a couple posts here and there, but I would love for everybody that's on this meeting in our offices, the sitting here, as you start having some of those great experiences, some of those awesome pictures that you're getting with your clients and those stories, throw those on that page as you're checking in. Kalani does a fantastic job. Rachel does a fantastic job. Check in. You don't have to be in the office to check in, but you're doing real estate activities and just, giving these amazing experiences to all these people that are in your life. Throw some of that stuff on there, get it in there. The more that we can get on, again, you'll have other content you can share. You're going to get ideas from some of these other people, your peers, people that are doing fantastic. One of the things I learned this weekend, I've known it, but put yourself around people that are better than you, that not necessarily better, not in a bad way. I don't mean to say it like that. But put yourself around people that are doing things that you're not. And then I guarantee you, they're going to start rubbing off on you. Look, I'm wearing a sport coat today. I never wear a sport coat. I'm wearing a damn sport coat because I'm around Chris all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, just get involved with that kind of stuff. Have some fun with it. Get on the pages. There's also an Instagram. Yeah, see. Oh, did he turn red? Did he just turn? All right. Hey, give it up for our fearless leader, Chris, too. Everybody online. Come on.
I'll give it up for myself.
Give it up for yourself. And that's all I'm going to say now.
Good. If you don't know how to do any of those things and you want to share something, send it to Jimmy or myself. We'll make sure it gets on the page. Like if you have a photo, if you have a story, just send it in an email. If you don't know how or don't want to or are afraid or worried or I don't know if that's appropriate, just send it to us. We'll put it up. We want some more content out there. We're sharing your birthdays. We're sharing your reviews. We're sharing different events and things that are going on, but we want to share some more content so that we have more things for the public to see. We're getting more and more public people acknowledging and commenting and doing that. And we just want to continue to do more of that so that we have more content there. Okay. Anybody have anything they would like to add? Wonderful. Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Have an outstanding Tuesday.